one word that transcends special shape ballooning, which is whimsical.
AOPA keeps flying safe, accessible, and fun by protecting your freedom to fly. We are the most trusted one-stop resource for all things related to general aviation. Become an AOPA pilot today.
You know, our kids and everybody else's kids, wow, the wonder and how happy they are when they see you. My first balloon I actually saw at age 5. So it's been a lifelong dream. And you get out of these things, you look at them, and it's just like, wow, just incredible, so incredible. My first special shape balloon was a experimental Jack-in-the-Box. We got it back in 2009, and that pretty much fixed me on wanting one again. I had about a 2-year span where I didn't have one for a while, and I felt pretty naked. If you're already a private pilot, you can get a balloon rating pretty easily without too much ado. You won't be all that good at it, but once you're done, do some training and get good. So it's a lot of fun. It is a FAA rating, so you can be added to your existing certificate. So we have the Aerostar Brain balloon here this year, debuting it for the first time in over 20 years since it's been here. It was the dream of Dr. Scott Gibbs, who was a neurosurgeon in Missouri. We recently changed the tail number on the aircraft to honor him to 573 Sierra Golf. It had been stored for 17 years. It weighs 1,100 pounds. It cannot be packed without a minimum of 10 friends. It has 36 ports in it to aid in its deflation. It's 90 feet wide and 60 feet tall. Absolutely incredible, full 3D features of the brain. Each of the sections of the brain are different colors, and they're just brilliantly beautiful. So people have loved it all week. It's just been a real honor to fly it. I'm currently running with about 4 crew chiefs here this week, Chris, Ed, and a friend John, and then my wife Brittany as well. It takes, not only does it take the village, but it takes the leadership of the other people to delegate down to make this all work. So behind me we have the very large trailer, one of the largest trailers probably on the launch field. And all the balloons are contained in there. The baskets are all broken down, and the balloons are all in big, large carts that aid in their ability to move around. So early in the morning, the crew comes in, they drop the basket out, and they drop the carts out. We assemble the basket and the burner and the fuel system, and then we pull the balloon out, hook it to the basket. We inflate it with a cold air fan, usually a couple of cold air fans. We get it full enough with cold air. I introduce heat with the burners, and the balloon stands upright. At which point we're still tied to the truck until we actually are committed and we want to go somewhere, and then we get hot enough, take a passenger or 2, lift off, and go flying. It does not have efficient lift because of its size and complexity, so it's just Nikki and I this morning flying along in the Brain. A balloon of that size could normally lift a pilot and 5 or 6 people by comparison, and also weigh about half as much. So our flight today was my second longest flight in my history here in Albuquerque, 19 years of flying here. And Nikki and I flew 17.5 miles to the South Valley of Albuquerque. My only furthest flight was another couple miles down the road. So that was really neat. We flew right over downtown Albuquerque and the Big I, which is I-40 and I-25 interchange. So got some really sweet pictures of that and just a great experience. Our flight was 1 hour and 50 minutes, so almost 2 hours. Still had a little bit of fuel left too, so that's good. We burned about 40 gallons today, maybe not quite that, 35 gallons of our 60 gallons on board. So when we come into land, of course, we're looking for a large enough spot to safely put down. Today we were in a alfalfa field in the South Valley of Albuquerque here. We clear that there's no power lines there. We come in, we try to make sure the crew is there at all times, but that's not always the case. Sometimes we have to do it on our own. The sequence of landing, of course, is getting the balloon positioned properly to the wind, having the crew all in place, particularly on these really complex shapes. You want to have the crew in place to get the vents out, because if you don't get the vents out, you could be there for 2 or 3 hours trying to pack the thing up, and nobody wants to do that. The balloon has a large crown line on top that allows it to be pulled over sideways, and the crew can get on that and help the deflation process. Takes about an hour to pack up the Brain. We would love to have you guys come down and visit us here at Albuquerque International Balloon Fiesta. Look us up, love to have you, and fly along with you guys.